remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
Yes.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
Yeah.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Yes. The killer sure get into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is... that one, the doorknob, right? I'll put doorknob.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob.
Choice wise.
Thank you.
This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room?
Yes.
But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyo said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice at first, but is that the key point here? Alright.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
Yes.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Then the killer ran after her,
Okay.
and they got into the bathroom.
Okay.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
Okay.
Because Sayaka had locked it. No, that's wrong. The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Yes.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck. Huh? What are you talking about? My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yep, true as true can be.
Yep.
But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door. That's not lucky.
Or that's the greatest luck, because people will think it's a locked door, and people will think it's a girls' dorm, and therefore they will think it's Saiko's room, even though it's Mikoto's room, and they won't think none the wiser that it was locked. Am I right? That is the luck in the situation, the ultimate luck. The luck in which he will escape from this situation, because he will definitely escape, because he is the protagonist, and who has the most luck of all? The protagonist. Plot armor, baby.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Valid.
Yes.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Yes. An important detail. Something killer didn't know. For some reason, they were convinced the door was locked, which means the important detail the killer didn't know was the crime took it in my room, because the rooms were switched.
I realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
Tell him.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then...
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
Yes.
They had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Yes.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door open.
Yes.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
Yes.
That is a definite possibility.
Mm-hmm. Shut up, Byakuya.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms? Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
What?
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
No, don't do that. How dare you?
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
Oof.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
Oof.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yeah.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Yeah.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
No, no one had the lock picked.
Negative. If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Yes.
How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
The reason why no one psych invited her killer into the room, I already know the answer. What's the answer? What's the answer? Is it this?
John! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, the same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open the door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching? What? What's wrong? What's wrong, Rasputin?
Now the choice, LOL.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
Yeah, because she was gonna murder him.
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just the two of us. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplate. Make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appear.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows.
Yes.
You're right. It can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Pretty old-fashioned technique. But even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Oof.
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
Why would you ask, like, it's like, of course, like, if he was the culprit, he would say no. That's like the worst thing to ask.
No, I didn't. But of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then that note, Sayaka wrote it?
Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Oof.
I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Oof.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Why are you making it sound like you're suspicious?
What makes you say that?
Yeah.
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Yes, of course.
Very well then. Pay attention.
Okay. Why is this so stressful?
Sayaka and Makoto rooms, correct?
Yes.
In the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
Uh-huh.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Yes.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So we know their words.
Oh no.
Even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
That's bullshit. Okay. I know where to shoot now. Okay. The reason the killer went to my room is not because Sayaka spiked what the note said. It must be because...
Sayaka and Makoto switched
Okay,
rooms.
I got it. I got it. Come on.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
It's perfect because I get to hear her voice.
Read that note,
I'm just here sipping hard.
Sayaka's room.
Yes.
Exactly. The room that Makoto
No.
was staying in.
There you go. Break.
The nameplates on my and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
Yes.
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Yes.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Yes.
Their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem.
Of course.
And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
No.
Right? Okay, then who did it?
The only person who could have switched the nameplates, Sayaka.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
Yeah.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just the two of us. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
To check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
Yes.
Why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted
Because
someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
yes. She wanted to blame Makoto for her crimes.
Why would anyone do that?
Because she wanted to kill someone.
We first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room.
Yes.
Where the answer lies.
happened then was whoever she invited over came in and attacked her.
Yes?
Figured it out. We know who did it. Whoever she invited over is the culprit.
A dinner.
We still don't know who it is.
You goddamn idiot.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
We just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
Okay, I can already conclude what happened. After Sayaka tried to stab him, he used the sheath to block the knife. After that, he started slashing Sayaka in self-defense, and then he I don't know why, but he would drop the katana, take the knife, and stab her, which makes no sense. Why he wouldn't just use the katana? I mean, it would make sense he doesn't use a katana, because if he had used the katana, he would have, like, if he still had like gold marks on his hand, he would have been known as a killer. And I'm like trying to like logically piece this together. So yeah, so it's the best option is to not use a katana for that, because you'd be left marked. So the next option would be to use a different weapon. The next weapon is one that is not marked, which would be the one that Sayaka was using, and stab her with her own weapon. Okay, that's my logic. Let's see how it goes.
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Yes.
What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
Oh. Oh! I know what happened now. Okay, so when Sayaka attacked, he defended with the shield guard, with the scabbard. And then he used the scabbard to disarm her. He threw the, I think I don't know. He tried to slash her with the katana, dropped it, got the, she ran into the bathroom, and then he tried to open it by force, and then he picked up the nearest object, the knife, and then stabbed her with that instead of the katana. That's what it is, right? That's the only way it could happen, I think.
Yeah.
I know the reason Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because where's the sheath? There you go. I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense. How is this connection to the sword and her wrist? What do you mean? She was disarmed.
Shoot!
What do you mean? That totally makes sense. What the hell am I supposed to look for? The struggle? What the hell am I supposed to do?
Maybe struggle or sleeve it.
Okay.
All you have to do is and it should become pretty clear.
Okay, what's... Oh, the gold!
There's something glittery there. See?
Yes, from the what's it called? What's it called? From the disarmament.
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
Yes.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? What led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. Ah, fuck. Okay. Sword sheath.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
Oh, is this chapter
That's
1?
what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So she
Yes.
She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
Yes.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
exactly what happened.
Okay, what happened? Okay. The sword was used first, and the knife came afterwards. Is that really the order of events that led to some unexplainable...
When the fighting broke out,
Uh-huh.
the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, it's wrong.
Okay.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Yes, it started with the knife.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had been scratched.
Yes.
See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp. You mean like the kitchen knife?
Yes.
That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath.
Absolutely.
If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
Yes.
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse.
Yes, that is what I said.
In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Absolutely.
Means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
Yes, Sayaka was the murderer.
Here's how it all played out.
Okay, what are you gonna say, Izumaru?
Culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere.
No.
Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
No, you dumb...
Grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too.
You're dumb.
After they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Oh my god, how are you this dumb when you're like the ultimate model student? Holy sh... That's not even like a proper conclusion. That's something like a white person would come up with. Holy jumping into conclusions much. Oh, frick. Damn.
Sorry, but
I won't...
think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
Yeah, absolutely.
How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Her hands. Her wrist, right? Her.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palm?
Because it's super like sticky.
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, If you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle.
Yes.
It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands.
Yes.
There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
That's not possible.
But I don't think so.
Why did you say that?
Because the water was off.
Think I'm ugly?
Ew, no.
No, that's not it at all.
There's no way Sayaka could have watched her golden coat plate. Water was off.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m.
Yes.
In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower in a while.
Oof.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
Oof.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Eek.
Insult, obviously.
Oof.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means...
That means...
the killer is the only one who used the sword.
Yes.
But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheep with the kitchen knife was...
Sayaka.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
Yeah.
We already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Mm-hmm.
The one who attacked first was...
Yes.
Sayaka?
Absolutely.
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
Absolutely. What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in.
And tried to blame Makoto.
It's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation.
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
No, I did.
The reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility.
Yes.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room, where she was staying.
Mm-hmm.
And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto.
Absolutely.
For that to work, the target had to be lured out, while still keeping the room swap a secret.
I mean, she is the yandere that did say, You'll do anything for me? Yeah. Anything. And you promise? Yeah, I promise. And it's like, woo, 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 woo. Oh my gosh. I promise to be her accomplice in a murder, and I'll be in trouble for it. So she can get out at any possible length. Wee, 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 wee. Flashback over.
If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
Yeah.
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior.
Oof.
I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Yes.
She was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Yes.
Then, you're saying she had this all planned out?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But in the end, her plan backfired.
Yes.
She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn.
Mm-hmm.
It must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
Yes.
gods were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she planned to murder.
Absolutely.
Just hold on. That can't be true.
That's exactly what happened. What do you mean?
How rude Sayaka is. Sad face.
Aww. I mean, I feel like that would totally happen to me though. I'm such a simp that it's like, oh, you'll help me. I was like, yeah, I'll help you, and then like I'll get caught, and then I'll be like get imprisoned. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to jail now, even though I had nothing to do with this.
It do be thou but sad way for time.
Yeah.
Easy face.
I'd be like that considering my relationship track record. Something like this would happen, and then I would be like, oh no, I get like I'm innocent because I wouldn't do anything, and I'm like, well, I can't prove anything, might as well, because I'm the kind of person that goes into a restaurant, orders something, gets the wrong order, is like, well, this is fine. That's the kind of person I am. So yeah, oof. I would totally be Naegi in this situation.